After the Apocalypse, Only the Strong Survive is directed by Keon Byron and also stars Keon Byron, Nikisha Nottingham, Sydney Ledger, Jeanne Jemima Thomas, Kester Filbert, Christopher Baptiste, and a slew of others. And it tells a story of a apocalyptic virus that has wiped out 78% of the world's population, including Trinidad and Tobago. And it follows a woman and her husband trying to survive in this post-apocalyptic world. Hey guys, so heads up, my neighbor chose a quiet Saturday morning to decide that she's cutting down some huge palm trees that she has. So if you guys are hearing any noises in the background, I apologize. I will do my best to mute it out, but it is what it is. So let's talk about this. After the apocalypse, only the strong survives. Now, this is another small micro-budget film from my country of Trinidad and Tobago, and the director, creator of the show, did reach out to me, asked me to take a look at it and see what I thought of it. So I want to say thank you for that, but you guys know me, I am here as unbiased as always, so I'm just going to give you my thoughts on this movie. And I'll start by saying that this one grew on me as it went along. I had some fun with this one. I'm always a fan of post-apocalyptic movies. I don't want to live in a post-apocalyptic world, you know, and the craziness that's going on right now, sometimes you have to wonder. But I really did, once I settled into this, I really did start to enjoy it. Now, like I said before, guys, this is a very small budget type of movie. It's one of those passion project films that feel like you're watching, you know, a student film. So if you're gonna watch this, keep that in mind. I've never seen the director's work before this, but I've heard of it. I've heard of Bachak Man, you know, I've heard of Missing Persons. So I'm hoping to check those out as well. But let's talk about this one. And I'll start, you know, visually, like I said, you know, things are limited here. They do have some special effects. They do have a lot of blood, surprisingly, and gore, because this movie, it's treated more like the human elements of The Walking Dead. If you think about that stuff, if you know, leave out the zombie stuff and that kind of thing, and those big budget set pieces, and you focus on the whole man versus man nature of apocalyptic movies, and you probably have an idea of what this is like. And we follow mainly the actress Nikisha Nottingham, who plays Raven, and so this is more of her point of view of what's happening here. You know, it starts with her husband is missing. She's writing in a diary, and she's kind of, you know, cataloging what's going on in her life and in her world. She's struggling with her own insecurities, you know. And we do see some flashbacks of who she is and how she gets to be where she's going and that sort of thing. So she wants to go out and look for her husband in this plague-ridden world. And this is basically her story. And what I like is you do see this character really kind of grow in her own way. Now, the actress, a lot of the actors here, you know, they're not professionals. But one of the things I did admire about Nikisha's performance is, to me, the more she settled into things, the more that confidence came out in her performance. So it starts off pretty wooden, you know. It starts off as somebody who is very nervous in front of a camera, and you can see that in the performance. And as it goes along, I see there are moments, there are points, especially when she has scenes where there's a lot of emotional stuff happening, she has to cry and stuff. I was really surprised at how well she handled those scenes, you know, considering what I saw in the beginning. So I did see somebody who was obviously becoming more confident in front of that camera as time went on, you know, and I give her props for that, I really do. And I like that her character, you know, she is a bit of a badass. There is that fighting spirit there, you know, but, you know, she's dealing with outside forces as well that she feels she needs to rely on these people. And in the end, she learns she doesn't have to. She is strong enough to survive, you know, hence the name of the movie in a way. So props on her. Another actor that really stood out, I mean, this person stole every scene they were in, was our villain here, Gunnis, played by an actress named Sydney Ledger. Sydney stole every scene she was in, just like the villain she portrays. She She makes no apologies for it. She is definitely the strongest performer here, and she's having a ball. You know, I'm positive she's a wonderful person in real life. She's probably a lovely lady in real life. But oh boy, did she enjoy playing a villain. And you could see it. She just embraced every aspect of her villainous role, and she made no apologies for it. The character is unapologetic. She's unapologetic in her performance. She absolutely blew me away, and she is definitely the strongest performer here. Overall, I mean, guys, this is definitely a labor of love. So, you know, you're not gonna go into this expecting the acting to be crazy good, you know. But I think what I overall got from everybody involved is there was this sense of passion, this sense of we really want to do something special here, and that did come across. You know, that came across in the actress who plays Raven's best friend. It pops up in the guy she encounters this guy. I can't remember the guy's name. She encounters this guy later, and later on he kind of helps her go after Gunners. Everybody here is pretty passionate about what they're doing, and I dig that. I like that you could see nobody was here wasting time, you know, so good on them for that. Story wise, the story beats a little uneven. There were moments, and I think maybe it comes down to editing. Like there's a moment in the beginning where we have Raven. She's out looking for her husband. You know, she comes across a guy, as I said. She has a fight with him, and she gets away. She moves on, and then the next scene, she is receiving a flash drive from a dying man, and I was lost. I had no idea what was happening. Oh, who is this guy? When exactly did she get to this point? Who are these people now in the woods? It was a little, you know, rough around the edges when it came to the editing, and it did affect the way the story was flowing. The beats are easy enough to follow, like I say, because we know what is happening. We know that it's a virus. Somebody was trying to create a cure for cancer. We do get a narration in the beginning. It goes by a little quickly, you know. It could slow things down a bit there as well. But we know what's happening, you know. So it's not like it's not easy to follow. But I felt like there were moments when it should have left things to breathe a bit, just stretch it out just a little bit. I'm sure this has to do with maybe constraints they had on time, because this was definitely done during the pandemic. Everybody's masked up, so you know you're doing things as quickly as possible. They're probably, you know, stealing moments to get shots done here and there. So I understand those difficulties. But it would have really, you know, helped the story a bit if we could have had some of these characters have a bit of time to make an impact, you know. Another scene with Raven takes place. There was this girl she came across who was sick, and not gonna give anything away, but she meets the girl, and then things happen, and the girl is gone, and it happened so fast. I didn't even get a chance to know anything about this person, and I felt like it would have just taken a couple scenes of dialogue, a couple moments of dialogue between them, and then what happened, and that person being gone would have resonated a bit more with me, instead of, well, they're here and they're gone, you know. So just little moments like that could have added to the dramatic weight of scenes like that. But when you combine it all, there's some fighting here, there's some action here that really builds things up, you know. And that's the thing, the fight choreography, they did have some help for that. I saw apparently it's like a wrestling team that helped them with that, so you can see where some effort was put into the fight choreography as well. We have some graphic scenes, you know, we have blood and stuff in here, and this stuff, you know, what I liked about this stuff, it took me back to those old grindhouse films that I used to sneak and watch, you know. Should not have been watching as a kid, but Tarantino could appreciate that as well. Those grindhouse films where things were just low budget, gritty, grimy, you know, the blood would flow like, oh, excessively from a wound and that sort of thing. We get that here, you know, and I'm all for it. I'm all for that sort of stuff. One aspect as well that I would have liked to see a bit more of is we do get a moment where we saw the ravages of the virus. Now, I thought the makeup you know, quick glances, I thought the makeup was decent, you know, and I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more infected people. I wanted to see more, maybe some people getting sick and not turning, because they're not monsters, but you know, I wanted to see the ravages of the virus. And like I said, I'm sure it's time constraints and budget constraints probably led to these issues, but we got one moment and then it's gone, and I really would have liked to see a bit more of what the infection was doing to people. But as a whole, I had fun with after the apocalypse. I did. It is you can tell it's a passion project, you know, and everybody involved seemed to be having a good time doing it. They used the locations that they could use wisely. You know, I even saw a familiar location from another local television series that I'm following called Blackland. So they use those locations wisely. And as a whole, you know, this is not gonna be, you go into this expecting some massive apocalyptic big budget movie. You know, you're gonna come out of it very disappointed. You can't go into movies like these smaller films with a cynical outview. You know, you can't, it's not fair to that film, it's not fair to the creators of the film, to the people working behind it. You know, we always treat these films a bit differently, and I for one am always impressed when people put their passion out there and they get it done. So definitely check out After the Apocalypse, Only the Strong Survive. See what about it works for you, you know, what you would may have wanted to see more of, less of, you know. And these are people I would really like to see what they do going forward, you know. Sydney Ledger, even there's a little girl in this, I'm sorry, I'll put her name down there, I can't remember it. She plays this young character, I think named Enora, and she blew me away, you know, for such a young actress. I thought she did a solid job, you know. She's there in a few scenes, she's not there for a lot of it. She's there in a few scenes, and that little kid handled herself very well, so props to her too. And I would like to see them grow in this, and let's see what else more they can do. There's definitely some neat direction cues here, some visual cues. You could tell the director there are moments, shots that lingered, you know, really cool ways, just those little scenes like that I was impressed by as well. So definitely check this one out, guys. I'll put a link below to where you can find it, and you can see for yourself. It's just a little bit over an hour long, so not much time, and give it a go. And that's going to be it for this review, guys. And yes, I did not score it. I'm simply saying watch it, because this is a whole different type of ball game. And if you like this video, please feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It's much appreciated. If you're new here and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face when it pops up right about there. And you can check out past reviews of both local and international content if you've got the time. So until the next one, guys. Bye-bye.